roll up, ladies and gentlemen, to the greatest podcast on earth. Step right up and experience the magnificence that is the Two Ring Circus podcast. You'll gasp, you'll laugh, and you'll be amazed at what comes next.
Amazing.
Don't worry about the smell. It's just the stars of our show, Tom Italiano and Matt Bradshaw.
Tom didn't say anything.
Welcome!
It was a silent movie.
Good film.
Silent movie.
Yeah.
Haven't seen it.
Mel Brooks.
No.
You're joking. What?
You just press silence. It's amazing.
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 How you doing?
I'm good.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. That's good.
Oh,
Last episode we touched on your current state of affairs and you said maybe we could talk about that next episode.
Yeah, I wasn't serious though.
Okay, I wasn't
Yeah.
sure if you were serious or not.
No.
Okay.
I'm not serious.
No?
Never.
Well, here you are.
Yeah, I'm often serious. People think I'm quite serious. Yeah. People think I'm quite serious and then they get a bit confused sometimes when I act less serious than they expect me to. I feel for people. It must be confusing being my friend.
Dear. Okay.
Yeah.
I haven't had time with my illness last week and the ensuing week of just ridiculous numbers of gigs to do a What Are You Torn About jingle. But
right.
that is going to be a recurring segment because stuff comes to me all the time.
That you're talking about?
Yeah, and I know the first time we did and the second time we did, I actually got, I clearly was angry and annoyed about stuff.
Yeah.
I wouldn't necessarily envisage that it had to be this, what grinds my gears segment.
Yep.
But I think sometimes it's going to be like that. But I have been given, I don't think we're going to do it today. I look like I'm looking something up. I'm not. I've been given cause to wonder just recently with my current state of feeling, which hasn't been that great for the last few months. If it's not just actually a massive overload of so much shit in the world at the moment.
So much shit in the world.
So much stuff to be concerned about. And
this could be interesting then. Okay. Sorry.
all pervading, just
Right.
everywhere you turn.
Yeah.
The absolutely being inundated by new information,
Yes.
bad information.
Bad information.
Absolutely.
Right. That's an interesting one. Okay.
I haven't come to any conclusions about that yet, but I definitely feel a huge weight of I've run out of space to be concerned about all the things I think we should be concerned about.
Right. Okay.
From a village to a global level.
Yep.
Including things as small but big as the various charities to which I donate every month calling me and asking for, we know you've been a valuable contributor for the last X number of years, but what we really need is... It's like, something's got to give other than me.
Yeah.
So I'm torn about that. I'm torn about charities hitting me up. I've been your
particularly-
valuable supporter all this time, and I understand why they do it, but...
Particularly when you know that, well, here's the thing about the charities thing, about that you won't like this, but I'm going to tell you anyway. So most of the phone calls that you get are not from charities at all. They're from an outsourced company who call on behalf of the charity.
Of course.
Right, and that charity probably sees 11 cents of every dollar.
No, I know.
Like, so...
I know.
That the shitty thing about that is that most of the money anyone gives to charity doesn't do anything. Which is not to suggest that charities don't do anything, but most of the money that people spend doesn't get to the people or the things you're trying to help.
How do you find that information out?
It's hard to find out.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's hard to find. But certainly, if you are getting a phone call from anybody, you should never give them money, because that conduit is just rife with not getting the money to the actual thing.
This isn't helping.
Yeah.
I suppose it is.
What are you talking about? Look, there's the it's the flip side to things that you think you're doing something good and you think you're doing something right, but you are a little bit, but not as much as you think you are, because of the way that system's set up to funnel your contribution effectively, exactly like a funnel. By the time it gets to the pointy end of the charity you're supporting, there's fuck all left to go through the actual pointy end of the funnel. So, I'm
like a funnel, like a sieve.
Well, I'm kind of, a sieve funnel. Yeah.
Yeah, a sieve funnel.
Yeah.
A funnel? Is that what you're going to say?
Yeah. A fiv. Yeah. Yeah, I guess I'm torn. You know what I'm torn about, and this is probably quite universal. Most people feel this. I'm torn about people who are just doing their job. It's just my job. Even when...
You mean like Nazi Germany?
Well, yeah, I mean like a few, quite a few steps away from that. But yeah, I think there are a lot of people...
Good.
Yeah, I think there are a lot of people in our society who are just doing their job, and
do you mean, and we've spoken about that before, about just doing something to the best of your ability, no matter what it is?
No,
that's not what you mean.
No, I mean, so I'm hired by this betting conglomerate as the marketing manager or someone who's to put together advertising for a business that makes its money off people losing money. That's not spending money. Mm. Well, and you could argue people are just buying entertainment, but that's not how they make all that money. Mm. They don't make money off people fairly and squarely subscribing to buying that entertainment for $9.95 a month, for example, like Netflix does. So, if you were to sit people down and say, these are the ramifications of you doing your job, and I think we're all in that situation. I mean, I play in a band to people who drink alcohol, and most of the people are quite most people have a good time, but there are some people at the venue that at that venue at that point in time, they clearly have a drinking problem that I'm contributing to. This is just the best thing. I can go out 5 nights a week and listen to people play music, and it's really, really fun. And now I've lost my job, and I play a small role in that. So, I'm torn.
Yeah,
torn with that. I think
time.
There's a lot. The people who, fast food's not bad, unless you have it all day, every day, for every meal, and some people do. So, I think those kind of things. It's we live in an interesting time when you're just doing your job.
We live in an interesting time.
You can just be, you're just a small link in a destructive chain, and you are not yourself being, the destructive hand, but you're part of it. So yeah, it can be tricky.
Has that ever been any different? Do you think?
Yes, I think absolutely it's been different.
In what sense?
I think before industrialisation, it was very different. When people still lived in small communities, in villages. It was. I think it's something you were talking about earlier about everywhere you turn, this seems to be this endless bombarding of information that. We're just not capable of processing. Whether it's good or bad, it doesn't matter. It's just the sheer volume of information, and you've got to try and
misinformation.
Yeah. Well, yeah, and
I genuinely feel that, man. I feel the weight of trying to sift through what is real and what isn't.
Yeah, I think there's, I think that's inherent with any form of processing you're going to have. I mean, you can't. You just
except
cannot.
That I now find myself living in a society where a huge number of people get their news from Facebook. And I talk to these people and they regurgitate the information they've read on Facebook as fact. So it's not...
So as in the
So
news,
it's me sifting through misinformation that I'm getting from people who are giving it to me as this is what I've read. And it's way beyond
the news
if it's
that-
in the newspaper, you got to believe it.
So the news is coming from other people's statuses. That's what you're saying.
Sure, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, yes. It's not stuff they're making up, though. They're sharing stuff that they've read somewhere, and that's misinformation.
Yeah. Oh, well, the issue that we've got with everyone having a voice and everyone having a not everyone, but like everyone has a voice for a start now, a platform from where to spruik that voice from.
Mm-hmm.
But I find it really interesting just the blogs and the commercialized blogs, the Business Insiders and the
clickbait
Guardian.
stuff. Yeah,
Guardian, it's supposed to be
Yes.
a reputable magazine, like all these kind of things. Just kind of, no, it's just all click. It's like here now, gone. We just keep us in your consciousness as a place to go for information.
Yep.
And I find that stuff, a real issue.
Yeah, this is what I mean.
Yeah.
This is a bit heavy for an entertaining podcast, isn't it?
Well, yes and no. I guess I guess the point that maybe if you and I are feeling that about it, and effectively, let's not beat around the bush. It's exactly what we're contributing to by doing this as well. It's another form of information that that people are getting and potentially exposing themselves to, and then they have to process how they think and feel about it, and whether or not they're like,
just doing my job, man.
Those guys are onto something. That Matt and Dom, everywhere they turn, I feel the same. But I think there's an element of if we're expressing something that's concerning us, there's a really good chance that other people feel it too, and that solidarity of someone who maybe you don't know or you're not with at that point in time expressing something that you go, oh fuck, I feel that as well, and I haven't yet had the forum to talk about it openly with someone. So maybe they're the third party in this conversation going, yeah, I feel that way too. Yeah, fuck that Facebook feed and all those negative people. So maybe, much of the entertainment that I really connect with is quite serious and harrowing, because I feel like...
Yeah, do you think that affects you negatively in your daily life?
No.
I think it might.
No, I don't think that affects me negatively. I think I don't think that stuff affects me negatively. I feel like my biggest issue is that I don't have enough one-on-one or one-on-group human connection. I'm not really part of a community. I think that's my thing. My thing is, if you don't come to my house on a Monday to do a podcast, I actually don't have to speak to another human being until Wednesday when I see you at a gig. And that's... unless
I would do that by choice.
There's a difference between having a weekend and having a rest, and then having a choice, and then like, so I simply have the choice, but I'm not part of a community. Like, I live in this little town. I don't know anyone who lives in it. My brother lives on the other side of the tracks, and I might call in and see him. I hardly ever do. Like, I just don't. I'm not part of a club. I've never been in a team. Like, I'm not so much lamenting that. I guess even like 5 minutes ago, I said, like, once upon a time we lived in small communities and we all had a role to play. My best friend lives 120 k's from me. Like, that's you. But I'm saying, like, I've got these people that I feel like I connected to, but they're not there. They're not there. They're away. They're so far away from me. I don't mean to quote Dire Straits. Accidentally. I don't feel like the stuff that I connect with entertainment wise that's dark has an effect on my life. I feel like what it does is it makes me, I think that I connect to it and I go, all right, cool. Then the stuff that I feel because I'm by myself a lot is okay. It actually plug into it. I don't think it makes.
That's
me
interesting
feel
because I think of you as being quite introspective and emotionally intelligent. So I guess if you tell me that you don't think those things impact on you in a negative way, then I believe you.
Yeah.
I'm thinking of it from how I feel about stuff. The James Freud autobiography, the bass player, singer-songwriter from the Models, Australian band. I couldn't finish his autobiography because it so profoundly affected me emotionally. I don't just mean reading it and thinking, fuck, what a horrible story and what a terrible time he went through. But I would put the book down and carry the weight of it through the next day, the next gig.
Of stuff was that though, like about depression and anxiety and
yeah.
Okay.
And I couldn't finish it. Haven't been able to finish it. And I found that quite amazing. I'm not sort of given to to carrying stuff like that. Well, I hadn't thought I was.
Okay.
Yeah, it was an odd experience for me.
Yeah, all right. Yeah, look, I've always from my early memories as a child been quite melancholic. Like I really quite like. I feel there's something about feeling quite dark and introspective and quiet, which is really like a bear in a cave type necessity for people. I think that no, I didn't mean to bear necessities. I know, it's good. But
that took the edge off a bit.
It's good.
Yeah.
But I think that's really important, and I think a lot of you hear people talk about the way people project their life in social media as like sunny and positive and whatnot. And I'm not one to say if you're feeling dark, just say you're dark or whatever. But I think it's important. I think the emotional hibernation rituals are really important, and I don't think we necessarily get to do that. So when I was saying before, like, it's Monday, it's my weekend the next 2 days, and I can go the next couple of days without talking to anyone, that's okay when that's self-imposed. But when you feel like you've got no power over that, I don't think the things that I connect to on an entertainment level make me feel worse. Okay. I think what they do is they make me feel a bit more connected to that part of myself which needs to be reminded that stuff's important. But I don't like, although I do,
So, is that your current position on what we're supposed to do as a people? What you're trying to do? Are you looking for connection? Is that what it is?
Always.
I'm
always looking for connection.
Yeah.
In anything I do. Yeah.
Do you think that's part of the human condition, or do you think that's you?
Well, I think it's part. I do think it's part of the human condition. I wouldn't assume. I mean, why would anyone be motivated to do anything without wanting to connect to something? I mean. I mean, there might be many answers, but I feel like I'm not just talking human to human connection, but connection to anything. I think it's the benefit of going for a walk in the hills, whether it's with someone else or by yourself, or having a pet, and then having the conversation with your pet over which one of you is the master, and then wondering why the pet's not talking back. Those kind of I think.
Well, if you're wondering why your pet's not talking back, that opens a whole other can of nasturtiums.
Well, your pet is talking back, and that's the other thing.
Yeah, that's why mine gets a smack.
Oh,
no talking back. Fuck, I own a cat. She does nothing but talk back.
They're noisy.
Yeah. And when I say own a cat, obviously we all know how that actually works when you have a cat in the house.
Yeah, I think the connection thing. I feel Yeah, I feel like as far as being part of communities and stuff like that, which is something I've never done very well. I think I moved around so much as a kid that I was shy, but also terrified. And quite early on became scared of leaving again because I knew it would happen. So
Yeah,
then I didn't. So
that's
then
interesting.
So then I didn't plug in, and it wasn't really until even quite just a couple of years ago that I realised it was the thing that it was my ultimate motivator, my ultimate fear. Is I wanted to be connected to things, and I was terrified of what happens when I lose it. It's almost like what do they call that when you're in a relationship and you're codependent? It's like I'm codependent on something I haven't got yet.
Well, that's that sounds pleasant.
It's just confusing. I'm not trying to say I'm not trying to say how difficult 24 hours a day is.
No, I know.
Yeah. I just it's important that I'm not trying to let you know I'm not trying to say that.
Yeah. I see a correlation in your life and mine in a similar way. Just the having moved around so much, always being the new kid, always trying to be the one to fit in with whatever social strata you find yourself thrust into at whatever age, and that happened through my whole childhood into my teenage years and everything. So, but and that's why I think I feel so not disconnected, but solitary and singular. That's what I mean.
Right.
Yeah. Not alone, but just, but different as well to someone who says I'm comfortable with my own company. Like I think I'm quite singular.
Yeah,
I've chosen to do most stuff by myself.
Yep.
Buy a house, forge a career. Like
I feel like I've forged a career.
Yeah, fucking hell.
Yeah.
That opens a whole other. Yeah. Anyway, but that's. I'm sure this will be a recurring theme over the
So do you want
course
to talk
of the
about what we're
next
torn by
3 years of
now?
Trump.
I actually, this sounds funny. I predicted extremely early that he was going to win, and I said there's no chance Hillary can beat him. And I knew they were going to. I knew the Democrats were going to lose. I remember exactly where I was. It was when Bernie conceded, and I was in the Czech Republic, and I was watching it on my laptop because I went, oh, that's it. I knew they'd go for her, and she's just not different enough. I mean, the idea that how could the best they come up with to oppose Trump, the decision be the wife of the guy that cheated on her 3 presidents ago. I mean, it's just stupid. Like, such a bad decision. And if it's obvious to the guy who, who's riding his bike through Czech Republic, like, it's fucking deadly obvious to the people who live in America. And but I think to use a nature metaphor, I think you've got to have you got to have a fire for things to regrow, and I kind of think they need a Trump. That's just not to say they need a Trump, so they need more mass shootings, and they need, I'm not saying they need
A nuclear war.
I'm not saying I'm not saying they need this actual human death toll.
I know what you mean.
But it is. It's the fuel that feeds the fire.
Yeah, there had to be a catalyst to provide some sort of a revolution. Yes. Yeah.
So,
I think this is an unfortunate one, though.
well, I think it could be worse, but.
On the principle that it could always be worse. Sure.
Well, what I mean is, it could be worse in the sense of he could be a politician. Like, that's the. I mean, effectively what. I don't know. I'm on the outside, and I'm not American. I've been there, and I know. Like, it's an amazing country with wonderful people, right? But if you ever needed a more robust example of how absurd politics is. It's that Trump can become president.
Yeah.
So if you ever need an example of when should we really look at how this system works, it's when Trump becomes president. So the opportunity that they have now is enormous. Do they still have potential to actually fall off the edge? Absolutely. This is not as bad as it could get. As bad as it could get is if a guy like this was an actual politician, and he's not. Like, he just doesn't know how to be a politician, which is good, because if someone with that kind of attitude had that kind of political training, it could be, I mean, it could be Nazi Germany all over again. Yeah, but he's not. So that's good.
Okay.
Yeah. And I think too, it's like, you know, in the media, like the comedians and the chat show hosts too, like, you know, they're totally ripping into him all the time because he's such a caricature of what a politician could be. But if he was dead set serious, they wouldn't be taking that kind of angle on it. I don't think at all. I think they'd be...
Yeah, but I mean, humour being the way of dealing with tragedy is another huge part of that as well.
Yeah, I guess
That's
so.
the way
but
to get through
I mean,
stuff.
I wonder if it's as much as tragedy is as real absurdity. Like, you know, like I said,
It is a tragedy that man, the least presidential person you could think of, is the leader of the free world. That is a tragedy.
Yeah, okay.
The polar opposites of Barack Obama to Donald Trump.
Oh, I don't know if polar, but
Really?
yeah. Well, the thing is that's my kind of
You go from that charming, well-educated, erudite
Yep.
man
Yep.
to
that's still
fucking Norm at the end of the bar at Cheers.
yeah, but absolutely Obama is all those things and still did despicable things, you know, around the world as the leader of the free world, and that's the thing. I mean, you don't. If you were to elect someone else as a leader of the free world who was similar to Obama, as lovely and amazing as he seems, who still droned Afghanistan to smithereens, because it's his responsibility, that stuff. Like, you know, it can't be avoided. That still was part of the reason why the Syrian refugees crisis is... I mean, he played his hand as the leader of the free world. So you kind of go, great. So even the good guy ain't that good.
Yeah, but the bad guy is loathsome.
True, right? But if you keep having the good guy do despicable things, then Harvey Weinsteins of the world will just continue to get away with shit, right? You got to have the bad guys come in and make a mockery of it to make a change. I like that sort of thing. I do agree with you on
Do you think he'll get a second term?
No, I don't think he'll make it that far.
Okay.
Yeah,
Do you think he'll get impeached?
I think he'll quit.
Really?
Yeah, I think he'll say, fuck this shit. I think he'll go out on his own terms. But if he gets impeached, whatever, and if he goes... I don't think it really matters as much as the general population seeing as, okay, we see what that can be, and now we need something really, really different.
Given the state of American politics at the moment, I mean, we're only 12 months in, but I can't
Yeah, it's 12 months, yeah.
see... There's no alternative at the moment. Nothing's come through yet.
Well, no, nothing would come through yet as an opposition.
The Democrats are fucking hopeless.
Well, there's nothing... when I say there's... You know, the run for the White House is still so far away that trying to bring in the opposition now is too soon.
And I presume that if he quits, let's assume he quits, that Mike Pence steps into the role.
You just assume, yeah.
Better or worse?
I think there's an element of... See, here's the thing with what I see with Trump. I don't think Trump would care if he got a second term. He'd be just gone. Be like, yeah, whatever. No worries. He has got no care for the party. And that's the thing, the difference between him and Pence is like, or him and the Republican Party. The Republican Party is concerned about their party. You know, they want that side of politics to be prominent. So they care about the bigger picture, you would assume. But Trump doesn't care about the big picture. I mean, if he does, well, he's fooled us all. Oh. But it doesn't appear to. But that's where I think Pence is much more of a politician. You say, right, okay, well, we got damage control here. The problem that you've got with two-party politics, which is the same here as well, is that you just don't have to worry about the left or the right. You have to worry about the people in the middle that are easily swayed. They're the ones who swing their vote. So the next person who comes in has to worry about how do we keep them swinging on our side.
Next time we get together,
yeah,
I'll talk to you about another thing that I'm torn about that was brought up by you that I ruminated on for days afterwards and was most upset about.
Oh, okay. Apologise.
Arsehole. You want to do something?
Yeah, I'm going to read you something.
Oh.
You can do another jingle for ruminations.
Shins.
All right, and it kind of goes in line with what we're talking about.
Oh, good.
Yeah. Humble living does not diminish, it fills. Going back to a simpler self gives wisdom. When a man makes up a story for his child, he becomes a father and a child together, listening. I like that.
I like that.
I did my best Russell Brand. What? Yeah, I think there's something in that, and in particular when a man makes up a story for his child, I think that that he becomes, the father and a child at the same time. Like when you try to do something to serve someone else, you become bigger than what you are. When we're talking about politics, the Bernie Sanders type characters, which you just kind of get the idea that they're not in the job for themselves.
Yep.
They're not they kind of go, well, all that talk of helping other people seems real. So it's a bit like doing this podcast with you. I feel like I'm not just doing it for me. I feel like I'm doing it for you as well. This is this thing that we get to make together, and without the other person, it doesn't get to be the same thing.
Yeah.
Which makes it worth doing. Otherwise, it's just one of us in a room by ourselves doing something. So who cares? So in this scenario, you could be a child. Never mind.
In a really literal sense, so that's how you feel about you and your father, isn't it?
In what literal sense?
In the literal sense of those actual words, the way your father would make up stories for you when you were growing up. Wagtail Bob.
Yeah. I think there's... I wonder if the story stuff, it's like when you come home from school and your mum's made some cookies. Or she's, so, for example, just beyond that. So my mum to this day will still make me dinner and the rest of the family something else. Even though my eating habits are way better than they used to be. And I would probably...
And arguably better than the rest of the family.
Oh, not recently, but...
Jeez, you're fucking hard on yourself. Man.
No,
I know I just said hard on, but it was different.
But there's that thing. Obviously, I was born with a heel cleft palate, and I couldn't eat proper food till I was sort of 5, really, like solid food. And then I was super fussy, and there was that element of, I'm sure, with my parents are going, "Oh, we're just glad he eats anything," and I'm sure my little shit head of a brain's going, "I'm not going to eat that. I want to eat fish fingers." And then as time, I know fish don't have fingers. Well, they don't if I've eaten them.
Wasn't what I was thinking.
That's why all the fish in the world used to have fingers, but we chopped them all off so we could make kids' dinners.
Am I being the child now?
I don't know. It's a good story though.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a kind of story my dad would tell me.
Yeah.
Where'd you get fish fingers from? But fish don't have fingers. That's because we chopped them all off to make your dinner. But I think, you know, there's the your mum would make food for you because she loves you, and then it becomes like you've eaten their love. Yeah. Yeah, I think.
Yeah, my mum's a feeder.
Is she?
Oh, fuck yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Sit down, you haven't eaten enough?
No, just a magnificent cook.
Yeah,
and,
okay.
And absolutely, that's her way of...
Yeah, right. Showing love. My mum would be just, how's this? Like, I'd be a teenage boy, a couple of guys over, we'd have band practice or whatever in the shed, and then we'd be full, you know, fucking around till midnight. Mum would have gone to bed at 9 o'clock, and then at 12:30 we'd just appear from nowhere silently, make 3 pizzas, right, deliver them to us, and then go back to bed.
Fuck, that's amazing.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah, she still is like that. You're watching the footy and suddenly there's like a plate of meat pies. It's like, where's Mum? Oh.
That's the thing that we don't have anymore, you and I, as musos. And not just with the ever contracting local scene and all that sort of stuff, but also just the passage of time and us becoming older and working harder, but the necessity for band gigs to have become duo gigs and duo gigs to become solo gigs and all that sort of thing. But separate to that, when you were younger and in a band and writing songs, that was absolutely a sense of community. That we don't get that, and it's different to being in a cover band as well. Because G-Force gets together and we play. We might do a corporate function. We do that once a month gig, and
band practice is a big deal with that. Yeah, for just being in a band and rehearsing for starters. Yeah.
So you know, that's the. I mean, we have a good time together, but it's essentially a means to an end. I mean, you're just playing a bunch of covers for people. There's the sense of there's not the tribal mentality that you used to have when you were 16 years old and getting together with your mates and
no,
you know, somehow scraping your gear together into the back of a maxi taxi to get to rehearsal and and then when you're touring, when you've got all your gear in the back of a van and you're going on tour, that's a tribe.
Well, I've never done that.
Yeah, right.
I've never done that. I mean, I've travelled interstate for gigs and stuff, but I've never been in an original band on tour.
Right. It is. It's an us against the world thing. You drive into an unfamiliar city with some promoter has booked you in at the dodgiest hotel in town with a shit PA, and there was a stage, 3 red lights and a dodgy PA. That's an us against the world.
I found so many original bands for me were just us against each other.
And
right.
Even were you in the Police?
And even the good experiences.
Really?
Yeah. Even the good experience. My greatest, I guess, lament as someone who's created music is like my high school original band. Just not even be able to record anything. It's just this creative force that just stunning ability to make up interesting things. And a lot to do with, certainly at the time, not knowing that does that and that does that. This chord usually falls with that chord and the 5 to the 1 and all that kind of shit. Like, just kind of go, that fucking sounds great. And what did you do there? And what did you do there? What did you do there? That kind of just discovery of noise, and occasionally it just going, oh, that sounds awesome.
Yeah.
But just, 5 personalities that... I always think that in the rehearsal room, it was never an issue. We didn't really shout and scream, but it could go a pretty robust conversation about stuff. But we all knew what we were trying to do, which was make some cool music. But it was the hanging out and the getting drunk or going to a party outside of the rehearsal space that just continued to ruin it. Maybe we tried to do the band 4 times. Right. Yeah, and into our mid-20s, and it just same kind of thing.
That's amazing.
Just kind of,
I find that really amazing.
yeah. So, but even that, as you describe the community and the banding together, but I think that so much as a result of how that should be the perfect system of how that should work, but then a society that adds, all kinds of external distractions, whether it be, drugs, alcohol, food, jobs, mutually interested women, that kind of stuff, where you just kind of put it all together and you go, can we just be the band, like, without all that shit? And the reality is you can't. So it's interesting to look at that. But, yeah.
I'm disappointed for you.
Yeah, thanks. Hey, do you want to do some Song-Werges?
Oh, yeah.
Speaking of music,
Yes.
I did 3.
And the Song-Werge keeps singing like it knows the score.
What happened to her?
That was me.
No, I meant Eva Cassidy. Too soon.
Too tsunami.
Led Zeppelin meet Belinda Carlisle in a song where there's a lady who knows that's...
Stairway to Heaven is a place on earth. That's good. Yeah, songs are easier, aren't they?
Well, they can be. You're about to... I didn't want to say yes and then not get the next 3 that you give me.
All right, fair enough. I wasn't prepared. So... I want to give you a good one to start with.
Okay.
REM and John Cougar Mellencamp.
Yeah.
That's it.
Oh, that's it.
That's all you get. It's an REM ballad. About
It's not about a man on a
all of us being in pain. Because REM always
Yeah,
upbeat.
everybody hurts so good. All right, Kim Carnes and Survivor meet in a precocious song used in Rocky 3.
Many Davis Eyes of the Tiger.
Yep.
Do you like Wilco?
I'm not a fan, but I do like them.
Are you more likely to know an Elvis Costello song or a Wilco song?
Definitely not a Wilco song. Wilco came along after the time of the CD for me, so I don't know any names of songs anymore.
Australian Crawl, though most people think it was James Rain solo,
All right.
because it may as well have been,
Yeah.
and Elvis Costello.
That's all you get. You don't give me any, like...
Do you really want
any clues? Well, I'll give you, like, little prefaces.
Well, I've given you a bit about Australian Crawl.
Well, that doesn't help me, does it?
Well, it was their last single.
That doesn't help
So
me
it
at
was-
all.
What?
Why would I know that?
Well, it
I'm
involves...
40 years old, Matt.
It involves a ferry.
Yeah. So?
And,
Reckless something.
you know an Elvis Costello song called Less Than You Think?
No.
No, I couldn't give you the album it was from. I knew that was going to be a hard one.
No.
Reckless Than You Think.
There you go.
Yeah.
Good.
Okay, thanks, man. Yeah, I'm glad I got that one.
The BeeGees and Aerosmith meet in a department store full of fools to live it up when they hit the ground.
Whoa, fucking hell. Okay. What's the... Who?
The BeeGees
Oh, the BeeGees.
and Aerosmith.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I've got the Aerosmith one. I don't want to give it away because everyone else is furiously thinking
Well,
about
the
it at
Full of Fools
home. Full of Fools.
is the reference to the BeeGees song.
It's not Spicks and Specks. Can someone come over immediately? I think Dom's having a stroke.
Which is, I think, the BeeGees. I think the whole BeeGees act was a drug-infused piss take where they were in the studio one night going, hey, we should sing a song like that. Let's sing a song like that. Yeah, all right, fuck it, let's do it.
Yeah.
They're like, or they just do like that's their songwriting session. Where they're like, oh, I've got the melody. It goes, oh, we should just sing it like that. Right? Okay.
Have
Cool.
you seen the interview, the BeeGees on Clive Anderson's show?
No.
Oh God, it's hilarious.
Is it?
Because Clive Anderson's a prickly. You know who I mean, don't you?
I don't know, Clive Anderson.
Oh, so
Clive.
he was the you might know him as the host of the UK version of Whose Line Is It Anyway?
No. Yeah,
Round
vaguely.
face,
Yeah, vaguely.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he's a
Yeah.
he's a bit of a smart ass and everything. So he's only very lightly taking the piss out of them, but they crack the shits and actually walk off. Well,
Did he say, what's with this shit singing? Is that what he said?
he makes a couple of references to
Yeah,
it.
right. Because in order to be able to do that, you must be actually a good singer. Because that's.
Okay.
I really don't think that's actually how they sing. I think it's a total affectation. It cannot be how people naturally sing. I refuse to believe it. For me, it's just. It must have come from some kind of thing like, should we just do this? Like, let's put it out. Let's fucking put it out. Oh my God, it's a hit. And then they're like, that's it, 40 years of having to sing like that.
No wonder most of them are dead.
No?
Gave it
you
up.
don't know the song?
Nah.
How deep is your love in an elevator?
Oh, how deep is your love? Sing it for me again.
How deep is your love?
Oh, yeah, okay. I mean, if you'd have said the words, I would have got it.
Is that whatever it is?
Oh, you're right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I should have got
But
that.
you don't know the words.
But I got stuck on Ship of Fools.
Ah, good song.
Oh. All right, we'll do that on
Great
Wednesday
song.
night.
All right, great.
Oh, The Cure and Brad Paisley. It's a song you sing and one you don't. But I picked the Brad Paisley song because I thought you'd know it.
Well, so Friday I'm in love. What?
Love and War.
What's that?
Brad Paisley.
What? I don't know what it is.
Nah.
I don't know anything off any album apart from Fifth Gear. Yeah.
It's a TV show. Doors and James Blundell with James Rain.
Okay, which is not Runaway Train. I don't know why those songs remind me of the same.
So obviously the Doors song is
Way
one
Out
you sing.
West. Somewhere along the way out west.
Yeah, wow. That's weird.
I'm good at movies. I'm not good at songs.
No, I wouldn't say you. What
All
about
right,
this
that's
one?
it for today.
This is a hard one. This is
Oh,
a hard
great,
one.
great.
Radiohead
Yeah.
and Taxi Ride.
You need to have descriptions. You can't just say band name and band name. They've all got so many
when
songs.
someone asks for a Radiohead song, what song do they mean?
Creeping up slowly.
There you go.
That's funny though. Is there anything else you'd like to talk about today? I think we've covered a fair bit.
Oh, I think we have to.
I feel like I need to read something light-hearted. Light-hearted. James Freud? Or
Australian Crawl.
I thought that was a James Freud song.
No, that was 1980.
Yeah,
That was
right.
very definitely Aussie Crawl.
Fuck,
Gee, it's a good song.
Oh, they had so many good songs. He's had so many good songs. Yeah. He's a grumpy bug alive, though.
Oh, I've heard that from numerous sources.
No, I'm not saying that he's so much. He just doesn't like when people have their phones out.
Okay, I've never seen him live.
Yeah, he's
Apparently amazing.
phenomenal.
Yeah.
Brilliant. Yeah,
That's nice to know.
yeah, really worth seeing.
By this stage, by the time this podcast comes out, you and I will have supported Ross Wilson
Ooh,
and someone else at Crown, at Groove.
well, I'm looking forward to those things.
That's pretty...
This will be the second time I've supported Ross Wilson, but he won't remember the first time.
Oh.
Yeah.
I played at a birthday party where Ross Wilson was a guest just recently. Have I said that before on this podcast?
No.
Yeah, just an intimate sort of lunch for maybe 30, 40 people.
Yeah.
And he sat directly in front of me. I asked him
Was
if
he
wanted-
talking?
Was he talking?
Yeah. To other people? Did you have to say, now listen?
Okay. I knew there was a gag there. I knew you were getting to a gag and I couldn't work out where it was going.
sorry. Yeah.
No, the guest of honour introduced me to him, and I asked him if he wanted to get up and have a sing, and he said, no, I've got to go to sound check after this.
Cool.
Which I think was a polite way of extricating himself from an awkward situation. But it was a 50th birthday party,
Oh,
so...
at least he
what
did.
would I-
Better than that bloody Bon Jovi wedding. Do you remember that video?
no.
That poor dude.
That's the worst. I'll post a link to that as well if you haven't seen it.
Oh, that's heartbreaking.
So Clive Anderson with the BeeGees, and it's a little note to myself when I go back and write the show notes. Yeah, in case I miss it along the way.
no,
In
that's
case I miss it somewhere along the way out west.
Nice one. Should add Will Smith in that too.
Oh,
Somewhere along the way out the Wild Wild West.
Yeah, good.
Yeah.
Do you want to go away
Yeah.
from this place and go to another place?
Yeah, I'm sick of my house. Today.
Shame.
Yep.
All right, kids, thanks for joining us. We will see you for episode 21.
This is the 20th episode. Congratulations. On
And
20
to you.
episodes. Well done.
Yeah.
Well done for us being persistent
And consistent.
and dedicated
And predicated
and
on producing top quality humour and information.
wow. All right. Coming up in episode 21, top quality humour and information.
If you need to get in touch with us, you know how to do it. If you just type in hashtag TRC Duo into anything, we come up.
Yeah. Except a typewriter. Because that would just...
It's not quite as instantaneous.
No.
We should take a
Oh, yeah, cool. Hey, I was on an airplane recently and I watched a documentary of Ryan Adams. Not Brian. Don't ever say that in front of Ryan. He doesn't like it, apparently.
No. Humorless git.
But he goes through his songwriting process and it was quite wonderful to see. But he's got this old typewriter. And so he takes a book, and he takes a line from a book and types it. And he takes another book, and he types that. And then that's the start of his lyric writing process. It's really interesting, but ping.
Yeah, I'm
cool.
not sure I like it. Just based on that
Ah,
storyline.
oh well. Back in episode 21 with top quality.
You know how people like are doing this because like taking photos from above? Have you not noticed?
No.
Selfies.
Yes.
Yeah, and people take them like this.
Yes.
But what I find really funny is, like, I always use this phrase about just like Aussie blokes, but bronzed Aussie blokes. Like I see it all the time at the anglers of dudes in like work boots and tradie jackets and stuff doing this gear. Show us taking lovely pictures of themselves from on high so their double chins don't show and that sort of thing.
Yeah, right.
Makes me laugh.
I'll tell you a funny story
in, man.
next episode about...
Because I've seen them doing this. Yeah, which
right.
I think's taking things too far.
Yeah, I think so
But
too.
I see girls at gigs doing this.
Wow, how about that?
How about
They're trying to get their...
No, I don't
No?
think so. No, I think it's just... I think they've just...
You're
They've
taking
overegged the custard.
Yeah, taking it too far. Yeah, right.
Yeah, that happens. I had something else that reminded me of too. I know we've already done the wrap-up. I'm sorry about that. I've ruined everything. Goodbye.
Bye. Farewell.
Auf Wiedersehen. Adieu. Oh, no.
Can't say that.
Ruined.
Particularly not in that film.
What? No. Oh. Hey.
Sorry. See ya.
Just doing my job.